Hello again, Fairhaven Town Administrator Keith Hickey with the latest edition of Town Report for the week ending January 30th, 2026. Wish the Patriots well last week. They won, so we're going to wish them well in a couple of weeks. Hopefully do well in the Super Bowl. Good to see them moving forward. Let everybody know, the Fairhaven football team is finally going to be able to make it into a select board meeting on Monday night, February 2nd, to be recognized for their Super Bowl win. We're also going to recognize their coach, chosen to be the New England Patriots Coach of the Year, Derek Almeida. Lastly, we're going to recognize Zach Moore for the recipient of the 2025 Otto Graham Award. So congratulations again to the Fairhaven football team. It just doesn't seem to stop, so good for them. Some of the other things on the agenda for next week, we've got a request for a road race for consideration. The Historical Commission is looking to have the board support an application for the National Registry of Historic Places for the old stone schoolhouse. The Atlas TAC working group is going to come in and update the select board on what's going on with that group. And then we have one or two residents coming in to discuss establishing an affordable homes committee. Moving on from there, one of the bigger items on the agenda is going to be the town administrator. I'm going to be presenting my fiscal 2027 recommended town budget. I'm actually going to be presenting two separate budgets. One budget that provides the same level of service to the town that's currently provided. That will require an override of about $1.2 million. The other will be a budget with no override, which will eliminate a number of different sources of town services that are provided, and we'll outline those for you. So ultimately, if the select board, the finance committee, or the voters decide they don't support a Proposition 2.5 override, people understand what the impact of not having one will be on the budget and the services that you're currently receiving. Based on about the $1.2 million override, we're looking at probably $170 to $180 for the average household a year is what will cost you for the override. So it is extra money, no question about it. But it's something that I think is desperately needed, unfortunately. Right now, there's a tremendous number of communities in Massachusetts that are dealing with this same situation as Fairhaven is, and I can assure you that the department heads, myself, and the select board are doing everything we can to keep costs down and not require an override if at all possible. It just gotten to the point now, and it's been talked about now for a couple of years, unfortunately, is something that to provide a good level of services that people are accustomed to, it's going to be important to try to consider that override if you're willing to do so. We also have, unfortunately, we're going to accept the retirement of Police Lieutenant Tim Souza. He's given us his notification of retiring, his intended retirement. We have a couple of different discussions about Timothy Hiller subdivision. Just when you think it's over, it comes back again, and we'll talk about that. There's a request to review the investigation process and the scope of services that the town has entered into with a legal firm to do the investigation. There's also a petition to expand the timeline to a couple of meetings after the Timothy Hiller subdivision was approved to discuss and investigate some comments that were made by other elected officials and appointed officials that violated the social media policy. So the select board will have to make some decisions as to whether or not they want to expand the scope of that work. We're also hopefully going to finally put to bed the agreement between the school department and the town on the construction of restrooms and athletic fields at the high school. The school committee a couple of weeks ago supported the agreement that was put together. I'm hoping the select board will do the same, and we can try to get a certificate of occupancy on the fields and try to get a plan resolved for the restrooms that need to be constructed there to support those fields. So that's a long time coming. There is an executive session before the regular scheduled meeting with the planning board to discuss potential release of planning board executive session minutes. They're looking to potentially release some executive session minutes that are able to be kept confidential because it's attorney-client privilege. They're considering releasing some of those minutes and need the select board's approval. And then after the meeting, we have another executive session, open litigation with the police union on the mistakes that were made and the impacts of those mistakes when the town agreed to leave civil service. There's a couple of sergeants that were impacted by the issues with that. We're trying to finalize some sort of an agreement with them. They've brought back an additional request that the select board has to consider. They'll do that in executive session on Monday night, and we'll take their decision to move forward. So that's the extent of the meeting. Should be a late one. A lot of discussion, I'm sure. There'll be a lot of information on the budget that we posted on the website after Monday night's meeting. So if people are interested in taking a look at the details of the capital plan, the proposed, both proposed budgets, the impacts, the cuts, budget that does not have an override. All that information will be on the website, and I urge you to take a look at it. If people have questions, happy to try to answer any questions you may have. I mentioned a little bit earlier, the Capital Planning Committee met. They'll probably have to meet one more time for a minor adjustment, but expect to have their recommendations on fiscal 27 capital needs sometime in the next couple of weeks. I have been meeting along with representatives from our health insurance company, meeting with town and school employees to discuss a new voluntarily prescription company that would provide prescriptions for town employees who have prescriptions to fill. That would potentially save a significant amount of money to the town's health insurance plan if the employees were willing to voluntarily move to that plan. So that's been ongoing. Meeting with representatives again next week, and we hope to have that moving forward. We have had some employees already agree to move to this new prescription company called Canarex. A couple of weeks from now, on February 12th, I've been asked by the East Fairhaven School to attend their Great Kindness Challenge and participate in the community tunnel for kindness at the school. So I'm looking forward to attending that and participating there where I can. Lastly, I want to say thank you very much to all of the employees and private contractors that work for Public Works or work with Public Works. On the snow removal last week, we had upwards of 20+ inches of snow. Public Works, I think, did a great job at removing that snow as best they could. I want to thank the residents for trying to park their cars on the opposite side of the street from the fire hydrants. That was fantastic. Public Works is still going around to different parts of the town, removing some of the snow banks to improve sight distance and also plan or prepare, I guess, for the next potential storm, which may be coming this weekend. So again, it's important if we do get some sort of substantial snow this coming Sunday, again, that people abide by the winter parking ban by not parking on the same side of the street as the fire hydrants. Try to park on the other side of the street where you can. Makes removal of snow and removal of snow around fire hydrants a lot easier and safer for people if there is an emergency of some kind. If you're able and willing to clear the sidewalks in front of your home or your property as part of cleaning the driveway, again, that's also supposed to be done by everybody, and we would appreciate the assistance if you could do that. So going through a bit of a snow band right now. Hopefully if we have some this weekend, that's the end of it for the year, and we can let the snow melt and get a little closer to the spring. So with that, a lot going on in town. Please try to keep up with what's happening. If you have questions or want to start doing some digging on information, please check out our website. All the budget information will be there. And as I mentioned, I'll be doing TV shows and trying to go to some civic organizations where I can to have conversations with anybody who wants to have them about the fiscal 27 budget and the pros and cons to both of the options that are available to people. So thank you very much for watching. Hope everybody has a great day and stay dry this weekend.